Intermittent Fasting for Beginners, Full 16/8 Guide. Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome back to Vital Living. If you've spent any time looking into fat loss or health optimization, you've almost certainly heard about intermittent fasting. It's one of the most popular eating strategies right now. And for good reason. A lot of people have had great results with it. But at the same time, there's also a lot of confusion, hype, and misinformation surrounding it. Today, I'm going to give you a complete, honest guide to 16/8 intermittent fasting, specifically designed for beginners. We're going to cover what it actually is, how it works, the potential benefits, the downsides, how to do it properly, what to eat, common mistakes, and whether it's even worth doing in the first place. This isn't going to be one of those intermittent fasting will change your life and cure everything videos. I'm going to be straightforward with you about what the research says, what works in real life, and who might want to think twice before trying it. So if you're curious about intermittent fasting but don't know where to start, or if you've tried it before and struggled, stick around. This video should give you a clear picture of what to expect. Let's get into it. What is intermittent fasting? At its simplest, intermittent fasting is an eating pattern that cycles between periods of eating and periods of fasting. It's not really a diet in the traditional sense because it doesn't tell you what to eat, it tells you when to eat. There are several different methods of intermittent fasting, but the most popular and beginner-friendly version is called 16/8. This means you fast for 16 hours and eat all your food within an 8-hour window each day. For example, if you finish eating dinner at 8 p.m., your next meal wouldn't be until 12 p.m. the following day. Your eating window would be from 12 p.m. to 8 p.m. During the 16-hour fasting period, you can still drink water, black coffee, and tea, just nothing with calories. The idea behind intermittent fasting is that by extending the time you spend in a fasted state, you may be able to improve fat loss, simplify your eating habits, and potentially get some health benefits. But how well does this actually work in practice? How 16/8 intermittent fasting works? When you eat, your body goes into a fed state, where it's busy digesting food and using the energy from that meal. After a few hours without food, your body shifts into a fasted state. During this time, insulin levels drop, and your body becomes more efficient at burning stored fat for energy. The 16/8 method simply extends this fasted state. Instead of eating every 3 to 4 hours throughout the day, you compress all your meals into an 8-hour window. This usually leads to eating fewer calories overall, which is one of the main reasons people lose fat with intermittent fasting. However, it's important to understand that intermittent fasting doesn't magically make you burn more fat just because you're fasting. The main mechanism behind fat loss with it is still a calorie deficit. Fasting just makes it easier for some people to create and maintain that deficit. Potential benefits of 16/8 intermittent fasting. Let's talk about what the research and real-world experience actually show. 1. Simpler eating habits. Many people find that having a shorter eating window makes it easier to control their food intake. Instead of constantly thinking about what to eat throughout the day, you only have to plan meals during an 8-hour period. This can reduce decision fatigue and mindless snacking. 2. Fat loss. A lot of people lose fat with intermittent fasting, especially in the beginning. This is mostly because they end up eating fewer calories overall. When your eating window is shorter, it's harder to overeat compared to grazing all day long. 3. Improved insulin sensitivity. Some studies show that intermittent fasting can help improve insulin sensitivity, which is beneficial for blood sugar control and fat loss. However, the benefits seem to be similar to what you'd get from regular calorie restriction. 4. Simpler meal planning. For busy people, Having fewer meals to plan and prepare can be a big advantage. Instead of worrying about breakfast, lunch, dinner, and snacks, you only have to think about 2 to 3 meals within your eating window. 5. Potential longevity benefits. There's some interesting research on animals showing that fasting may have benefits for longevity and cellular repair, autophagy. However, the evidence in humans is still limited, and we don't know for sure how much of a difference it makes in real life. Potential downsides and who should be careful. Intermittent fasting isn't perfect, and it's not for everyone. Here are some important things to consider. Hunger and irritability. Especially in the beginning, many people feel very hungry, tired, or irritable during the fasting window. This usually improves after 1 to 2 weeks as your body adapts. But it can be rough at first. Not ideal for everyone. People with a history of eating disorders, women with hormonal issues, pregnant or breastfeeding women, and people with certain medical conditions should be very careful with intermittent fasting or avoid it altogether. It's always a good idea to talk to a doctor before starting. Potential muscle loss. If you're not eating enough protein or training properly while doing intermittent fasting, you can lose muscle along with fat. This is especially true if you're in a large calorie deficit. Social and lifestyle challenges. Having a strict eating window can make social situations more difficult. Things like breakfast meetings, family dinners, or going out for drinks can become complicated. It's not magic. Some people treat intermittent fasting like it's some kind of miracle. The truth is, it's just one tool. If your diet is still full of junk food and you're eating too many calories during your eating window, you're not going to see great results. How to start 16/8 intermittent fasting. If you want to try 16/8, here's a simple way to get started. Week 1 to 2. Ease into it. Start with a 12 or 14-hour fast instead of jumping straight into 16 hours. For example, finish eating by 8 p.m. and don't eat again until 10 a.m. the next day. Gradually push your breakfast later over the course of a week or two. Choose your eating window. Most people do best with an eating window between 12 p.m. to 8 p.m. or 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. Pick a window that fits your lifestyle and social schedule. Stay hydrated during the fast. Drink plenty of water, black coffee, and unsweetened tea during your fasting hours. This helps manage hunger. Don't obsess over perfection. If you eat a little outside your window once in a while, it's not a big deal. The goal is consistency over time, not being perfect every single day. What to eat during your eating window. Intermittent fasting doesn't tell you what to eat, but what you eat still matters a lot. Focus on hitting your protein target, around 1.6 to 2.2 grams per kilogram of body weight. Prioritize whole foods, vegetables, and enough calories to support your activity level. You don't need to follow any special, intermittent fasting diet. Just eat in a way that supports your goals. Many people find it helpful to have 2 to 3 larger meals during their eating window rather than trying to eat 5 to 6 small meals. This usually feels more satisfying. Common mistakes beginners make. Here are some mistakes I see a lot with people starting intermittent fasting. They try to do too much too soon. Jumping straight into 18/6 or OMAD, one meal a day, often backfires. Start with 16/8 and get comfortable with it first. They eat junk food during their eating window and expect great results. Fasting doesn't cancel out poor food choices. They don't eat enough protein. This can lead to more muscle loss and stronger hunger. They give up too early. The first 1 to 2 weeks are usually the hardest. Many people feel much better after their body adapts. They ignore sleep and stress. These factors often have a bigger impact on results than the fasting itself. How to handle hunger. Hunger is the biggest challenge for most beginners. Here are some tips that can help. Drink water, black coffee, or tea when you feel hungry. Stay busy during your fasting hours. Make sure you're eating enough protein and fiber during your eating window. Get enough sleep. Being tired makes hunger worse. Remind yourself that hunger often comes in waves and usually passes within 20 to 30 minutes. Most people find that hunger becomes much more manageable after the first 7 to 14 days. Training while doing intermittent fasting. You can still train effectively while doing 16/8 intermittent fasting. Many people actually perform well training in a fasted state, especially for lower intensity workouts. However, if you're doing heavy strength training, you might feel better training toward the end of your fasting window or early in your eating window so you can eat soon after. Listen to your body and adjust based on how you feel. Is intermittent fasting right for you? Intermittent fasting can be a useful tool for some people, but it's not necessary for fat loss or health. If you enjoy it and it helps you control your calories, then it's probably worth doing. If it makes you miserable or you feel restricted, then it's probably not the best approach for you. The best diet or eating pattern is the one you can stick to consistently while hitting your calorie and protein targets. Final thoughts. 16/8 intermittent fasting can be a simple and effective tool for fat loss and simplifying your eating habits. It's not magic, and it's not for everyone, but many people find it helpful, especially busy professionals who want fewer meals to think about. If you decide to try it, start slow, be patient with the adaptation period, and focus on eating well during your eating window. Don't expect miracles, but do expect that it might make staying in a calorie deficit a little easier. At the end of the day, consistency with your overall diet and training matters much more than whether or not you follow a specific eating window. If you want help creating a sample meal plan that fits with intermittent fasting, or if you have any questions about getting started, just let me know in the comments. Also, if you have any questions about anything I covered in this video, drop them below. I read pretty much every comment. If this video gave you a clearer understanding of intermittent fasting, make sure to like it and subscribe to the channel. We post new content every week about fitness, nutrition, and building better habits while living a busy life. Thanks for watching, guys. I appreciate you. Take care, and I'll see you in the next one.